Kayleigh McEnany is an Outnumbered co-host. She is here with me now. And at the top of the show, we were talking to Edward Lawrence. He was reporting from the White House. And it is a federal holiday, but President Biden, and he has nothing on his schedule to come out. We do know that John Kirby, the national security spokesperson, will be on Martha's show at 3 p.m. But is it untenable to think that Biden could be silent again today?
It is untenable, especially as we're learning American hostages likely in the scenario. 9 Americans killed. We need to hear from the president. We didn't hear from him until late afternoon. The attack happened at 6:30 a.m. But when Americans are involved, when Americans have been killed, to hear from the commander-in-chief and say in no uncertain terms, I'm going to reiterate my support for Israel, and I am going to say you must not harm an American hostage. I want to hear from him or from the administration. Have you sent FBI special forces, as Robert O'Brien suggested you do? Have you sent the special forces hostage team over to the region? We don't know the answer to that question.
I would imagine, at the very least, I imagine that you'll see a photo release today of the president in the Situation Room or on the phone with somebody doing something like that. So I just want to show this call for number one. What Peter Doocy was describing are these crises around the world, and every president has them. This is not new, but this is like an urgent crisis. But he's got a lot of things going on. Afghanistan, of course, Iran, China. There's problems in Ethiopia and other places in Africa, Ukraine, and now Israel. So that's a lot on his plate. And this from the Fox News poll saying that 58% of those polled disapprove of the president on foreign policy. Now, a lot of elections are never necessarily hinge on foreign policy, but how do you think that this plays into the overall question about Republicans and Democrats going into 2024?
Well, if there are American hostages at play, this could be another Afghanistan moment. And you're exactly right. Typically, the economy frames approval ratings. But as Axios has said, it is impossible to deny the blunder of Afghanistan, the fall of Afghanistan, and how it affected polling. He was at 49% in August of 2021. 1 month later, he was at 43%. Now he's in the 30s. People saw chaos, and this adds to the general feeling of chaos. You see chaos on the southern border. People aren't liking how they're feeling economically. And then you look overseas and you see Ukraine, you see China playing these war games essentially in the South China Sea, and China's watching this. You know, Taiwan is probably looking more tempting today than it did at 6 a.m. on Saturday.
And we know that Russia's paying attention as well. The other thing is that the candidates now on the Republican side, they have an opportunity then to talk about foreign policy. Some of them don't have specific foreign policy experience, but as we were at the debate, we asked the question, the farther you get from September 11th, the closer you are to September 10th. Here's Ron DeSantis in Iowa on Sunday, and he was talking about this issue. Watch.
I can tell you this, I wouldn't have slept through those attacks if I were in the White House. I'd have been up at 2 in the morning, and we would have been doing what we need to do to protect this country.
Now, the White House is not going to like that, because in a moment of crisis, if you have Americans held hostage, you want to make sure that everybody is rallying around the president. But we are in a competitive situation. So how does a candidate deal with that?
Look, the best positioned candidates to deal with this are Ambassador Haley, who has a foreign policy record, and former President Trump. Look, I was there with Ambassador Robert O'Brien, with John Radcliffe, with President Trump on September 2020, when we were celebrating peace accords between Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, and Israel. First time it's happened since 1994. That's September of 2020. Former President Trump should be out there saying often, September of 2023 looks a whole lot different. We're not celebrating peace. We are looking at war in Israel, something that didn't happen on my watch. So Ambassador Haley, President Trump uniquely positioned on this issue.
When you see something like this and you think back to the crises that you had to deal with as press secretary, and of course I had some as well. To me, this is on a scope and scale that it feels very overwhelming, especially because of the Iranian connection. And you know, the White House is going to push back a lot on this particular issue of this $6 billion. But almost in a way, it feels like they're protesting too much and making too much of a deal of it in terms of making it more so that people are going to keep talking about it.
Yes, Andrew Bates was on Twitter. He's in the press shop with essentially a fact check. They've all been out there on this, but the question, they're bringing the $6 billion to light. Yes, we're talking about it. And then there's the $60 billion, as John Radcliffe told me yesterday, $60 billion in unenforced sanctions that have freed up Iran to sell oil. If I'm President Biden, I'm not only in front of a camera today, I'm announcing new sanctions on Iran. I am They're talking tough and saying, you enabled this in no uncertain terms. And we haven't heard that from him yet. I know he's being cautious. You have to make sure the intelligence is there. Everyone I have asked said Iran is behind this. Of course, we have the Wall Street Journal report.
Indeed. Okay. Oh, yes, I know. And what I thought was interesting is that the reporters had more information in 24 hours than apparently the intelligence on all sides had in the months leading up to this. Kayleigh, we'll see you on Outnumbered then?
Yes,
Okay,
Outnumbered.
great. Thank you so much.